Hello, my dear students. Today we will discuss about the ecological pyramids. These ecological pyramids were given by the scientist Charles Eldon in 1927. That's why these pyramids are also known as Eltonian pyramids. These are of mainly three types. One is upright, second one is inverted, and third one is spindle shape. Upright pyramid are of this type of shape where upper side is narrower and base is broader, while in case of inverted pyramids these are having narrow base and upper side broad, and in spindle shaped pyramid such type of shape is formed where upper side is narrower, lower side is also narrower, but middle side is broader than that of the either sides. So such type of pyramids are known as spindle shaped pyramid. Here, what are the ecological pyramids? These are graphical representation of the trophic structure of the ecosystem. Trophic levels are the feeding position in a food chain such as primary producers, herbivores, primary carnivores, etc. Three types of ecological pyramids can be usually distinguished in any type of ecosystem. One is pyramid of number, second is pyramid of biomass, and third one is pyramid of productivity, or you can say pyramid of energy. In the pyramid of number, in a grassland ecosystem, you can see pyramid of number is upright in shape. Upright pyramid is formed in a grassland ecosystem. This is number of individual per unit area of various trophic level. Here this indicates the number of individual of per unit area of various trophic levels. A large number of producers, these are large number of producers tend to form the base. This is the base, and there are many plants which occupy the base position, and lower number of top carnivores occupy the tip. This form the tip, and this tip is narrower because producers are large in number than that of the herbivores, and in turn than that of the carnivores and top carnivores. So that's why upright pyramid is formed. Here in case of aquatic ecosystem, the pyramid of number is vary. The shape of the pyramid of number vary from ecosystem to ecosystem. Here in aquatic ecosystem and grassland communities, autotrophs are present in large number per unit area. Here this is also an upright pyramid, and in this pyramid this base is occupied by the producers, and these producers are large in number. So they support a lesser number of herbivores. Here these are the herbivores, and in turn support a fewer carnivores, and these carnivores are further reduced at each level. So in the pyramid of number in aquatic ecosystem, such type of upright pyramid is formed. In the forest ecosystem, the pyramid of number is spindle shape, because here this is the spindle shape, and in this type of shape, here carnivores are less in number and producers are also less in number than that of the herbivores. So middle side is broader than that of the either side. So the pyramid of number is spindle shape, and this type of pyramid is spindle shaped pyramid. Evaluating the pyramid of number shows some advantages as well as some disadvantages. Advantages are, the major advantage is simple, easy method and giving an overview. Second, it is good for comparing changes to the ecosystem at different time of year, and some disadvantages are also there. Here, number of a specific species can be too great to measure and does not take into account of juvenile or immature forms, and also all organisms are included regardless of shape and size, hence the pyramid may be formed inverted. In the pyramid of biomass, this pyramid is also upright pyramid is formed. It is the graphical representation of biomass present per unit area of the different trophic levels, with the producers at base and the top carnivores at the tip. Here these are the top carnivores and these occupy the tip. Biomass is calculated by the mass of each individual and multiplied by individual at each trophic level, and this is measured in gram per meter square. So here pyramid of biomass is also upright, because biomass production by the producers is 1000 kg, and next herbivores which take the energy from the producer can produce only 100 kg of biomass. In turn, primary carnivores are less in number, and so these produce only 10 kg of biomass, and in case of top carnivores only 1 kg of biomass is produced. So this type of pyramid is also upright. Here pyramid of biomass may be inverted in case of aquatic ecosystem. In aquatic habitat, the pyramid of biomass is inverted, or it may be spindle shaped, whereas the biomass of trophic level depends upon the reproductive potential and the longevity of the members. So here producers are large in number, but they produce only 4 gram per meter square of biomass, because these are larger in number but their size is very small, and that's why they produce very less amount of biomass. But in case of herbivores, these are larger in size, so produce 8 gram per meter square of biomass, and in case of carnivores, these are further larger in number and so produce 12 gram per meter square of biomass, and that's why the pyramid of biomass is inverted. This type of pyramid is known as inverted pyramid. Here it is also has some advantages and some disadvantages. Advantages are overcome the problem of pyramid of number, but there is also disadvantages. Only uses sample from populations, so it is difficult to measure the biomass exactly. In case of time of the year that biomass is measured influence the result, and organisms of the same size do not necessarily to have same energy contents, and inverted pyramids may result from the producers with high turnover rate. So some disadvantages are also there. In case of productivity, or you can say in case of energy, pyramid of productivity is a graphical representation of the flow of energy through each trophic level of a food chain over a fixed time period. So the input of the solar energy may be indicated as extra layer at the base because the energy is come from the sun, and this useful energy is taken by the producers, and in this always upright pyramid is formed because this useful energy is used by the producer, and they produce energy and use this in the respiration as well as in other physiological activities. So 90% of the energy is used by the producers for their other activities, and this energy is used by the producers herbivores, which take the energy from the producers, and this energy is only 10%. Only 10% of energy is given to their next level. So here energy is always less than that of the producer. Further, the primary consumers give the energy to the secondary consumers, and here also these useful energy is used by the primary consumers, and they use nearly 90% of the energy in their respiration as well as other activities. So this energy used by the secondary consumer is also up to 10% of this level, and then further here they use also 90% of the energy, and only 10% reaches to the tertiary consumers, and here so energy always decreases. So flow of energy in an ecosystem always shows a pyramid of upright shape. So pyramid of energy is always upright. It never be inverted and it never be spindle in shape. So flow of energy from each level is only 10%. This law was also given by the scientist Lindemann, who gave the 10% law of energy flow in an ecosystem. Here pyramids of periodic productivity shows that only 10% of energy is available to the next trophic level as per the Lindemann's 10% rule. And the energy level of each trophic level has two R's, that is net production NP and respiration, and the measured in kilojoule per meter square per year. So here primary producers take the energy from the sun, and this energy is used by the plant. These are the producers, and if this energy we consider is only 10,000 joule, then 10% of energy reaches to the next level. So here to the next level, which are the primary consumers, they can take only 10% of the energy which is produced by the primary producers. So this is only 1000 joule, and other energy is used by the primary consumers. These are the herbivores. And to the next level further, secondary consumers are there, and these secondary consumers are take the energy from the primary consumers, and these are the primary carnivores. So they take the energy from the herbivores, and this energy further 10% of energy is reaches to the next level, and this is only 100 joule. Further to the next level, tertiary consumers are there, and they take the energy from the primary carnivores, and these are the secondary carnivores. Here only 10 joule of energy reaches to the next level, and here if we add further one more step, or quaternary consumers. So if next level is there is C3 or tertiary level, tertiary consumers, only 1 joule of energy reaches to next level. So here at each and every step 90% of energy is lost, and only 10% of useful energy transferred to the next level. Here also some advantages and disadvantages of productivity. The advantages are no inverted pyramids are obtained. This is the main point, and this shows actual energy transfer and allow for rate of production. Can compare different ecosystem based on relative energy flow. And here some disadvantages are also there. It is difficult and complex to collect energy data, and problem always exists in assigning a species to a specific trophic level. So many consequences are there of ecological pyramids. Here bioaccumulation of chemicals also take place in a food chain. Here when plant and animal take up a chemical from the environment and do not excrete it, the chemical built up means increase in number in the organism over the time to a potentially lethal level, and it may cause the death of the organism. It may not be harmful at the lower level, but it may become lethal at the carnivores level. So here bioaccumulation of some chemicals take place which we use in the production of crop. So there are many consequences of bioaccumulation. This may increase the chemicals, that is biomagnifications, and biomagnification refer to the sequence of processes that result in the higher concentration of the chemical in the organism at higher level in the food chain. So at the higher level of trophic level, this chemical concentration increases, and so by this way the chemical concentration is magnified from trophic level to the trophic level, and the concentration of the chemical may not affect lower level but of the food chain, but the top level take in so much it can cause disease or death of the organism. So this is my humble request to all, do not use the harmful chemical to increase the production, because these chemical increases are in the food chain and these may cause the death of the organism, and this may cause harmful consequences to our environment. So please do not use such type of chemical to increase the production only. Please increase the production of good yield, which can be used by the organism, and we are using the resources of the organism, so this is our duty to support the ecosystem. And thank you so much. Thank you guys.